I knew I was going to be on the podcast today, so I was drinking a lot of hot tea, so it's a lot of liquid to drink.
It shows. You have been spilling a lot of tea. I'm just
spilling the tea. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the Peak Filler Podcast. I'm your host, it's Andrew XP, and I am once again joined by my co-host, Photaku. How's it going, man?
It is going great. I'm so happy. If I can share a post-neural W, I'm down to like one full-time job instead of two. So
nice.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that, man. Stability is always good. Then, with only one job, you have more time to watch anime, and I mean that's just a win-win.
Yeah, this was not going to work if I couldn't do that. Except I heard a lot from my security friends, because that's what the job was that I left, was in security, where they said we watched so much anime while we were doing our jobs, and I'm kind of like, I'm driving. I can do radio at best.
Dang. I hope they were watching. I mean, hopefully it wasn't the Japanese version, because then they're like reading subs while driving. Imagine that.
Yeah, no, they had a friend of mine had a stationary job. Maybe if we can get them on the podcast sometime, they'll provide all of their insights about everything they watched.
That would be really interesting, actually. But today, for today's order of business, we wanted to talk about anime that hurt us. So I think the first, because I think when we were last talking, you mentioned Anohana and what was the other one? Your Lie in April. Those were the two.
Yeah, it might have been Your Lie in April. Anohana is a little too touchy, you know.
Too touchy?
Yeah. No, I remember that I saw it believing it's not that sad of an anime, and one day I decided I was going to go to Golden Corral and just eat some soft serve ice cream while watching anime, because sometimes I like to steal the time there and be like, it's all you can eat. I'm going to enjoy myself. And that was a mistake. Biggest mistake of my life. Because,
did you watch the whole thing while you're at Golden Corral?
The last episode.
The last
Golden
episode.
Corral.
I thought you had binged the whole thing there. I was going to say, what's the time limit there?
That's the thing. There's a
time limit, right?
Yeah, there is a time limit. It's called They Look at You Very Weird. The problem is that they don't have it like Japan. I hear they have it on lock when they're like, really? Passively, aggressively make you not feel welcome after a certain time.
You know what? That's always awkward at a restaurant when they want you to leave, that actually happened to me last week, and I didn't know that they were closing. What? And they kept coming by saying, hey, is there anything else I can get you? And no rush. I didn't know they were closing. It was a breakfast place and time just went on. So I imagine at Golden Corral, what was that experience like? Watching Anohana, the final episode at Golden Corral. You said you were eating soft serve ice cream. Maybe was that a good thing that you were able to eat something sweet while you're to kind of soothe the pain?
No, I'm normally there. I was watching different animes, and I was like on the last episode of Anohana. That was actually the last thing I watched, because by that time I was just eating like the soft serve ice cream and enjoying myself. But then I just left because I was an emotional wreck at the time. I'm not going to say that I was sobbing, but I was clearly not comfortable anymore. And I think by then they didn't have to worry. I think I was probably there for about 2 hours of just kind of like watching stuff and just kind of eating and stopping, going back and eating. But like for a while I was just getting some weird looks, so I just moved to like the back. But like I was glad I did, because when that happened I was like, oh,
the tears, the waterworks started, huh?
I thought I would be okay. I thought I was doing all right through the other episodes, but like it was just kind of like, oh, you're not sad? Guess what? We were conditioning you this whole time. You know that the outro song you were hearing? Oh yeah, you thought you were ready. You were not. Before we continue though, like really quick, you're bringing up like ways that they make you feel like you want to leave, and funny enough, the same person who talked the security job, the same person who said that they had that and watched anime, I went to go do shabu shabu with them, and they actually do have a 2-hour time limit.
They kick you out? What happens if you reach the limit?
They were being so passive aggressive with us. Like, they
polite,
first did say, "Oh, do you want anything? Are you guys gonna wrap it up?" Eventually, the lady went up to my Bunsen burner and just shut it off like on the spot, and it was like, oh, okay. And I told them, like, I wonder if they have a time limit, and we checked it, and it says only if you didn't have a reservation, and it's only 2 hours, and we were there talking for a while. But yeah,
did you guys go over the 2-hour limit?
Yeah. No,
you were long over. So that's why
they were mad.
She was done being polite. She just turned it off. It's like, get out, sir, please.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, like, there's me with my food, but like, did Anohana hurt you, or like?
Here's my hot take of the day. I didn't think it was that sad, because.
Oh, come on.
I know, I'm gonna sound heartless there. That's actually. You know what? I think people overhyped it, because I watched Clannad After Story right before, so maybe my heart was numb already or something. But I mean, everywhere you go, people always say, "Oh, Anohana, like that one's gonna crush you." And since I had just watched Clannad After Story, I said, "All right, I'm already broken now. You know, might as well just fully break, just destroy me, just end me." And I was expecting Anohana to be worse than Clannad After Story, because I mean, it was sad. Don't get me wrong. I think it was really sad. But yeah, it might have just been the timing. And a lot of times those are now kind of my benchmarks when it comes to how sad is anime on a level of Anohana to Clannad After Story. I feel like Anohana is like the standard hits you in the feels anime, and Clannad After Story is it ruined me. I mean, is Anohana probably the saddest anime you watched, or what? I mean, what's probably the saddest one for you?
It's just the buildup. I want to say that I've seen a lot of different animes that like have made me either cry or that have left me like depressed. And Anohana, that buildup with Menmont near the end, like it's beautiful, and I just think that I vastly underestimate it, because I'll say the same thing. I heard it was sad. I'm at the end. I did not worry about it. I was like, I'm literally going to watch this over food somewhere in public, and I regretted that. But yeah, no, I would say the saddest, it's hard for me to really say. Like, I'll enjoy sad anime and I'll say that they're sad. If you want to know what the saddest anime moment for me was, it's always, and it's a specific moment, okay? I don't want to rob away from it. Very specific moment. It's just watching, and I want to hear you too, because like, I know that Clannad After Story dang it. I know that one is, what's it called? It's a sad one, because you went through like just a very cute slice of life-ish harem anime, and then you get fed reality, and you're just kind of like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, just let them be cute together. Let them be cute together, alive. And then it just gets worse. Like, everybody, if they know, they know. I don't want to full on spoil it, but like, just
I was spoiled.
What happened?
I got spoiled on it, but it still hurt for me.
It's like, do you ever want to be afraid of having a family? Just watch that. Do you want your what's it called, soul crushed? Yeah, but no, for me, it's watching My Hero Academia on the Shoto episode of season 9, and I just remember, like, that one just hits me right in the feels. I feel like Shoto peaked, unfortunately. Shoto peaked after that point, because it just wasn't the same. But yeah, no, it was like so sad.
What episode are you talking about? Is it with his father? Is it something that had to do with? Is it when the backstory of the Todoroki family? Oh yeah, that was pretty painful. I remember. It took me a second. I'm like, what was depressing? Maybe I suppressed it in the back of my mind. I'm like, what? My Hero Academia? That's not that. Oh, that one. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's bad. I thought that after I watched it, it would be okay, but my friend literally had to take care of me when I got drunk one day. I got so drunk that, like, we were hanging out with friends, and we were over at a friend's place in Irvine, and he was like, "Don't worry, I'll be here with you." And I'm like, "No, go eat sushi with everyone. I'm so sick." And they're like, "I'll take care of you. We'll watch some anime, because I haven't seen My Hero season 2 yet. I'll get you some greasy food, and we'll have a good time."
That's a good friend.
I was hurt the first time, but when you're like hungover eating like junk food and you just see Todoroki like ignite, just like oh man, bro, it hurt. It hurt worse than anything I'd ever experienced at that point.
That's a thing people should do. I mean, I know a lot of people I don't know, some people want to drink to party, some people go through the full range of emotions when drunk, but I wonder would people want to willingly, because some people watch anime because they want to get hurt, so maybe we should start suggesting to people, hey, get really drunk and watch the second season of My Hero Academia or Anohana. We could suggest that, and then it'll enhance the experience, right? Do you feel like your experience was enhanced from that?
Oh, bro, no, I could. Those are the manliest tears I've ever wept. It was amazing. It was the second go and everything, but yeah, no. If I'd have to say like just a sad anime for me, I'm just gonna say I'm like, I don't know, maybe Angel Beats.
Oh
for
God,
me,
that one hurt.
Angel Beats. Because those last frames, it's also a build-up one, but there's something about that very last episode when they actually figure out the pattern to everything.
Yeah.
And it's
as it slowly starts, yeah.
I'm like, they're leaving! They're all leaving! No!
You know what's funny about Angel Beats? One of my friends he was ready for his first sad anime, and I'm kind of a jerk because I showed him Angel Beats.
No.
And yeah, and that ruined. He hasn't trusted me with a sad anime ever since, and that was like 8 years ago. So he still hasn't watched like a feels anime in a long time. But it was really funny because he said, he texted me one day saying, "Hey, so I'm making my wife watch Angel Beats with me. LOL." It's like, we got another one. That one hurts.
You came for what looked like teenagers just like shooting each other up, and you stayed for the heartbreak. But I like how each individual episode, when dealing with everyone's backstories and how they got to the afterlife, genuinely, like, as it progressed, I was just kind of like, this isn't hurt, this isn't sad. And then you hear the...
Then you wait.
You hear, like, the protagonist's... I call him the Tachia?
Is it Otanashi? I can't remember. It's
Otanashi. It's Otanashi. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apologies. I butchered it. It was just the... But yeah, Otonashi's backstory was just so sad because it's that gut punch where it was just kind of like he could have not been there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
And then man, like,
I know it's been over 10 years, but I'm still trying to not spoil it in case someone hasn't watched it. But I mean, it's just the way that I don't even know how to describe the ending, but without it being spoilery. But
it's beautiful.
Just like, yeah, it's beautiful.
Like, it's beautiful, and I hate it. Like, I genuinely hate it. It's like, we can't all have happy endings. It's like, it was literally that, like, it's happy ending for some, and it's just anguish for everyone on screen.
Mm-hmm. So when you were watching My Hero Academia when you were drunk, you said that was your second time, so it was your friend's first time watching it. Okay.
Yes.
But was it sadder the second time, even though you knew it was coming?
Because
it was. Okay.
It was because of the alcohol. I was hungover. I had my head beating, and I was eating greasy food to try and get better, and it hurt so much seeing that. It's like, but it's great because it hurt, but it's because he was happy.
Yeah, right.
You know, and man,
but you know what?
It just...
Spoilers a lot of times ruin stuff, but you know what's interesting? So like I told you with Clannad, before I even got to After Story, I got spoiled on the first... There were like two major tragedies in Clannad After Story. It was like a 2-part kick to the nuts. The first one hits your left nut, the second one hits your right nut, and then you're down, you know? Yeah. But I got spoiled on the first one because I thought the ending song was really nice. You know, the dango... So I went on YouTube and said, I'm going to listen to the ending song of Clannad. It's in my head right now. And I scrolled down to the comments, and the first comment is, wow, this show made me sad because blankety happened. I was like...
I'm right there, like, just...
I was so upset. I was like... I asked my brother, I was like, is that a real spoiler? And I saw him get really mad. He's like, why are you reading YouTube comments? You haven't finished the show yet.
But yeah, no, it's the real tragedies are the things that we can't finish, just like High School of the Dead.
So what's up with that? What happened with High School of the Dead? I mean, I never saw it. I've seen the memes of like the machine gun boobs, but what happened?
We'll get more in depth for that one because I believe that one deserves an episode. But like,
we'll save that for the ecchi.
Save it for the ecchi. But unfortunately, the mangaka he died.
Oh, that's a shame.
Or rather, the writer died, and then the person who drew it said, "I am not going to continue making this without the creators." So,
well, I understand. I kind of respect that.
I feel like that is the peak sad moment in all of anime, really, but
right.
I don't know.
You know, for Anohana, we were talking about how like it destroys most people, and for me, it didn't. I felt like the ending was really uplifting because it was about moving forward, almost. Maybe that's why it didn't crush me so much because it was very positive. I don't know.
It's positive, but like there's a lot of people who like these kids were already dealing with stuff in high school that like other people will like never really address as they grow up, which is kind of weird because like these kids get involved in like a lot of different things, especially when two characters are about to be in a very bad situation with adults. But like I think what makes it really sad is genuinely there's a lot of people who have traumas that they never really address, and I think there might be an issue where when it comes to a one of their friends who has passed away and then they're just kind of confronting in that moment, I think there's a lot of people who will kind of look at that and feel like maybe they can relate, like they could be like one of those other kids, and that's what makes it really, really sad. Like I'll take it then that you just couldn't relate with any of them.
I know. I'm just very privileged that I didn't have any friend die. Yeah, actually, that's probably what it was. Because you know what? I've only cried in a movie theater once, and it was watching Coco. And Remember Me song at the end got me to... And that's the only time I've ever cried in a theater. Because I'm a musician, I write music, and just, you know... I don't want to spoil the, and that's not anime, but just I related to just having like your song stolen and like used for profit. I thought that was just such a crappy thing, and it's for like your granddaughter, and I don't know, that just got me. So I get it. So maybe that's what it is with Anohana. I'm very fortunate that I didn't experience, you know, death of a childhood friend or something like that. So lucky me, or a similar trauma to, I guess, what they faced. I just lived a pretty good life. So that makes sense, actually. You know, and that makes me feel not as bad because people look at me like I'm a monster when I'm like, yeah, it was kind of sad, I guess, but not, you know, didn't completely crush me.
I mean, it's like there's things to being a monster. It's like you're either a troll. It's not like you've ever done anything where it's like, oh, I'm intentionally going to pull at your heartstrings with like, oh, I'm going to spoil something for you, or I'm going to like cosplay something devastating for no particular reason, or like I'm going to... There's things genuinely that like... we could just make fun of you and say that you don't have a soul for like not fucking crying at the end. Dang it, I can't take this. You triggered me. I don't know why I feel this way. You know what? It's maybe just because, you know, good for you that it didn't make you cry, especially in a public setting where you didn't think that you would break down. But like, but here's one thing I definitely want to ask, because I saw it happen. If we're talking about characters who unfortunately pass away too early, tell me why then you're so hungry for all of the punishment that comes from Your Lie in April. Just personally, I don't want it to be simply that it's a musical anime and maybe you're just more inclined, because like that ending definitely is like a gut punch.
Oh, that one actually, Your Lie in April ruined me for like a whole week straight. You can ask Celty. I mean, I was actually...
Oh, dang.
I didn't cry. Like, I'm not much of a crier with anime, but I mean, I was emotionally damaged for sure. I mean, it's so weird. I think that is the only show that has made me feel like kind of depressed after watching it. I mean, there's shows like, you mentioned My Happy Marriage, a more recent one. That one has sad moments, but, you know, it kind of has a happy-ish ending, kind of, or Violet Evergarden. That one, you know...
that one is beautiful. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It hurts, but I mean, it's got a good ending, I think. But I mean, Your Lie in April, I didn't like... I felt unsatisfied with how it ended. That one hurt me, and I felt like it didn't... See, with Anohana, right? Like, there was a lot of tragedy, but then they moved forward at the end, and they kind of had that in Your Lie in April, but I felt like it wasn't good enough. You know, it wasn't enough.
Good enough?
No, I mean, I guess not good enough. Not that it was bad, but it wasn't enough to heal me, like, at the end. So I was just sad for, like, a whole week. So it was like a week or two. I'll have to ask. But I know I was messed up for a good, at least 1 week.
You technically, and I can't tell if it was the first episode or the second episode, and I only remember this because it was comboed, but my favorite... my favorite melody in the whole, like, OST plays on the bus before Kaori goes to, and apologies, I am going to butcher all these names, I'm so sorry.
Kaori? Yeah, it's alright, it's alright.
When she stops at the hospital, I'm already like, okay, I know why this is sad. She is dead. There is no way she is walking out of this. And I just felt like, because they just drop it right away, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm going to make a stop. So I'm not going to tell any of my friends. And here we are, and I'm just kind of like, oh yeah, she arrives like she's a damn angel into Kosei's life. And I'm like, you know, she is elevated. He is below. She's literally bringing a
Death
symphony
flags, right?
that is,
Yep. I think I was still a little bit newer to anime when I watched it, so I didn't catch a lot of that stuff. It took me a little bit longer to realize, oh no, like, where's this going? And maybe that's another reason. It kind of caught me off guard. Once again, I actually didn't know Your Lie in April was going to be a feelsy one, because it's like you kind of joked about it. Oh, it's a musical anime. That's why I wanted to see it. Because I'm a musician, I thought, oh, how cool. Yeah, we're going to see a nice music anime. It's got beautiful animation. Everyone's talking about how beautiful it is. I thought, oh, let's do it. So, I was kind of caught off guard. And, I mean, nowadays you can kind of, you know, you're a seasoned anime person. I feel like I am now. So there's, like you said, there's signs, and you could see the signs. I mean, I was fully blindsided, so I just had no preparation. Anohana had full preparation, so I guess that's the difference.
No, I guess that is fair. It's like we see it coming. I know that we had this discussion more so last week, but like who did you feel? Like, were you destroyed partially because your best girl was Korari, or was it also Tsubaki? Because let's be honest, like.
Yeah, Kaori was the best girl for me. I liked her a lot, and that's probably another reason. Because, well, it's not... I mean, in Anohana, I thought Menma was the best girl, too, but... In this one, I think what also made it really emotional was just kind of the abusive parenting that Arima had, that Kosei had, and, yeah. I mean, when you grow up Asian, like me, you have strict parents, so, I mean, they didn't, beat me or anything, it wasn't like his... God. But it just kind of, reawakened a little bit of trauma for me. Just, my parents were really strict. I mean, if I was on the internet for longer than 15 minutes, I'd be grounded for, 3 months. So, because we had dial-up internet, so I couldn't use it. If I was on for 16 minutes or 15 minutes and 2 seconds, no internet for at least 3 months at minimum. And sometimes it was longer. So, I had very strict parents. So, I think that was, a little too close to home when his mom was being a perfectionist and all that. And my parents, if they're spying and watching this, I'm grateful for the other things they did for me. But, gotta admit, a little strict, more than 15 minutes on the internet. That's kind of not that big of a deal, but... So
it just hit a little close to home in other places.
Yeah, the best girl died, and hit that, the abuse. And I think, what else was it? I think it was really just, I think because by then I was also in a relationship. When I watched Anohana, I was still just kind of starting to date Celti. Mm-hmm. But by the time I watched Your Lie in April, we were already together for a while. So just imagining... It felt too real, seeing a significant other die, and I was like, I don't like this. This hurts too much.
Yeah, especially when you meet that special person, and the last thing you want to do is be in a situation where, I know it's always about just, figuring things out, compromising, but eventually there comes a time when you're allowed to just be vulnerable with this other person. You genuinely feel that you can take away that part of you that might idolize them. I feel like that happens at all times. We are not honest at first. We are pretty much putting up what we believe is the best image of ourselves, and eventually there comes a time where that guy's it just falls. It'll eventually come a time and you get through it with each other and you feel like they are your rock, their emotional everything. And I feel that that is very unfair when it becomes a situation where that just can never be, especially when one person already kind of is aware of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're just I want to spend the most time as I want with someone, and I just want to be sure that it's not going to be interrupted much from the usual tension of being a kid.
Yeah,
and I'm just kind of I hate this. I hate this, the emotional level of growth and stuff that can occur, and you don't see that when you're teenagers. So I feel like it's just kind of but you watch it as an adult and you're like, bro.
Yeah, it hurts. But Your Lie in April, I felt like that was... I can't remember which... Was it A1? I know Aniplex had it. I can't remember which studio had Your Lie in April. That one was really beautiful. I loved the vibrant colors on it. A1. It was A1.
Nice. And you were also right. Licensed by Aniplex of America.
So the reason I remember it was Aniplex was, so the marketing team at Aniplex, I'm friends with one person who's still there, but it used to be 3 people that I knew, and 2 of them don't work there anymore. And they would do a live show, and they were playing a game on their live stream, and they would play an anime opening, and the first person to type the name of the series in the chat would win a prize. And Your Lie in April had just finished airing, so I knew it would be one of them, so I had it pre-typed out, and I was just waiting to hit enter. I was just waiting, and sure enough, you're da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I just hit enter. Who was your best girl?
My best girl was Sanjo when it came to... wait, we're talking about Your Lie in April.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
My head. Oh no, my best girl was definitely, I'd say Tsubaki. It's definitely Tsubaki for me. I don't mean to be after the pick me or anything like that, but she's not, don't get me. I think this is literally just the best friend who really spends a lot of time with the main character, and it's clearly them. But Kaori, right?
Kaori, yeah.
Yeah, she and Kosei just go so well together. Don't get me wrong, it's literally under better circumstances, I'm just kind of no, they complete each other in such a cool way, and I wish that there would be more to the relationship than just literally, oh, you inspired me and I want to inspire you, and I hope that you know that you're amazing because you've made me feel amazing and confident. And with Tsubaki, I don't know, maybe it could just be that back when I was a kid, I really enjoy the person who would be very straightforward with trying to go for the relationship, and sometimes it leads to an unrequited love, in a sense. So I don't know. I just feel that way kind of when it comes to that situation.
Everyone has a type. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I guess when you watch anime in general, especially maybe romance shows where there's like the different girls, is that usually the kind of type of girl you might gravitate towards liking the best?
I don't
or not
know,
necessarily.
Man. I'll lie. When it comes to like Ami from last time, it's because I'll say it's the character who's like more real in the situation, and I enjoy. Taiga and no, I'm talking about Kaori from what's called Lair Night Burial. Like when we have our main leads in there, I just want to say that both of them very much are not. They don't really exist. Like they're both kind of ethereal. One is literally so tsundere that she is the pinnacle of tsundereness. And there are some parts of her character that generally I would identify with or enjoy, or I feel like there's a lot of backstory that I enjoy with it. But both of them are like on a tier that is so ethereal, it genuinely just makes me feel like it's hard for me to relate right away, because a lot of this, like they're so perfect for their partners that it makes me feel kind of like it's almost unattainable. So I don't want to discount it, because there'll be people that genuinely like, oh no, I have found my person who is my everybody. And I guess for me, it's never been to that extent where it's kind of like you never really meet the perfect person. You find the person that you struggle with, you talk with, you really get to feel your emotions out, because life itself is not simple. And everybody has different levels of maturity at a certain point, so that's why I enjoy the unrequited love characters. And just so long as they don't go down a dark path later, I'm just kind of like, like I feel you have my special spot. So yeah.
So it depends. I thought that maybe, because you know what, like my older brother, he has a type. He says he likes the weird girls for whatever reason. I know I met one guy that liked yanderes, and he met a girl in real life that was a bit of a yandere, and people were telling him, dude, yanderes are cool in anime. In real life,
no. I was about to say you need to not be at the like so weird it's crazy. I thought at first he was just gonna say kind of like, I don't know, at worst it's Futaba from Persona 5, so your girlfriend's like Reddit kind of, which I'm just like, it's not that. I just thought that when you're bringing it up in my head, I thought like, oh, just the geeky girlfriend, kind of get to enjoy all this stuff with. You bring up yandere, and now I'm like, I think someone needs to stop watching Future Diary, and
I love Future Diary. Yeah, but that guy really liked Future Diary, I think.
But we're not gonna knock it. Not gonna knock it. No shame. Everyone does have a type.
There's someone out there for everybody, right?
Yeah.
You know what? So I want to talk about my happy marriage. Did you finish watching the whole thing?
I'm at episode 9, and everything hurts. So if we're at a good happy moment, all of my happy moments have just been genuinely the wholesome moments with Kudo not being... No. I'm going to slam it back. He's not even being like... what I thought. When I saw the episode, I thought he was going to be like Sesshomaru, or like, very stoic. And I guess like, our main girl's like kind of into that. And again, not knocking anything. I'm bored of that type of character, because I'm like, if I'm not going to have my character emote and they're just, everything they do is so effortless, I'm not going to enjoy it. And boy, was I wrong, because he is by far the most emotional person there, and I dig it. I also like how when he like actually investigates stuff, it's because he's genuinely just being like a good person. I'm going to say he has that postdoc. He had that postdoc, but that postdoc was like the most real thing ever. So like I like it. He hands down made it so much better for me. So I genuinely like all the wholesome moments that he has. What's it called, with Miyu? I want to be sure I didn't say Kaya by mistake.
Don't.
I hate her
correct
so much.
I would stop you. Don't you dare say anything nice about her.
I literally thought, I'll have a take in a sec because I want to hear more of your stuff, but like for real, I was just kind of like, this is all pretty good. I wonder if everything will be fine. And then it's kind of like, who else would not want them to be happy? The state does not want this relationship to be happy, which should make me feel like just kind of like, oh, come on. But now I'm just kind of like here in the US, where we literally have some really terrible people pass terrible laws. I'm just kind of like, I feel you. I feel you guys. Why? Just let them be happy. But I mean, she also has trauma, so it's not like the state literally just like came in like a wrecking ball and is like, yeah, we're the plot. The other part of it is literally her dealing with all the damage caused by horrible family members. And yeah, no, what did you think? Since like, you actually got through all of it, I know you won't spoil anything, but like, what do you think then about that?
It was awesome. It was, I think it was my favorite show of the anime season.
Nice.
Number 2 would have been, I mean, it was a close contender was Zom 100, which is not related to it at all, but it keeps getting delayed, so I can't really fairly compare it. What else?
Netflix.
Yeah, and the girl I like forgot her glasses. Those are like the top 3, I think. But
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a great one. A lot of people don't like its animation. There's a good chunk of CGI. I don't really mind CGI. I know for a lot of people, it kind of kills the immersion. It's like we're purposely watching anime. We want to see 2D. But yeah, as for, I think My Happy Marriage was my number 1 overall for the season. It's really funny. That really got me where, once they got past the whole, family not wanting her to be happy, it's like, well, at least that's over. It's not like anyone else doesn't want them to be happy. That actually kind of killed me too. I'm like, oh yeah, of course. The whole all of Japan's basically just against her, it feels like.
I want her to be happy. Like, come on. Like, this is generally the one where I'm saying it's a sad anime, but I didn't want it to be sad. And I'm glad that I liked it, because at first I just thought it was not going to be for me. And I'm just like, I like it. I like it so much. And I almost feel like I just want to cosplay from it too, because I'm just kind of like, my boy there, he's an actual person. Like, he responds the way I would respond in a particular situation.
Gets emotional.
Like,
yeah. I thought that it's just it's so cool. You know what? With My Happy Marriage, I thought it was gonna be like My Love Story, which is the opposite of it. It's just a slice of life romance.
Oh no, it's not the state that doesn't want you to be happy. Literally, the Grim Reaper is at every corner wanting to ruin it. You know what? I'm surprised that wasn't in last week's episode, now that I think about it, because My Love Story is just so adorable.
But then, that would have been a good one. I didn't finish that one, unfortunately, but the episodes I did see were good. But My Happy Marriage, oh god. You know what's really funny? Where was it? It was on Twitter. I saw a meme where someone posted a picture of Kaya, and underneath it was like a Peepo meme of him like charging a punch. So every time I watched the next episode and I saw anyone in her family, I would just think about that Peepo just smiling, cocking back that punch, and I'm like, I've never wanted to see people just get murdered in anime so badly. But anyways, man, thanks for coming this week. I had a lot of fun. If you guys haven't seen the last episode, we had Anita cosplays on there.
It was so much positive energy. Oh my gosh.
If you guys like romance anime, of course, that was our very first episode. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, of course, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to us, follow us on our socials. It's all in the description below. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time. Later.
Bye.